What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and I am out here in the workshop. And what, per se, am I doing today? Well, the last time we worked on the repeater project, that's linking the 6 meter and the VHF repeater together, we noticed that the 6 meter receive audio was garbled. And I kind of have an idea of what it might be. I'm not really sure, but we're going to take this thing apart, do a test on it, do a Cynad test on it before and get a baseline on the Cynad. And on the audio quality, we already know it's garbled, but I just want to take a little bit of a look at the receive radio before I do anything to it. That way, if there's anything negative happens while I'm doing the work on it, when I come back out of finishing the work, I can check it and make sure that at least our audio and our radio performs at least as good as it did or better after the repair. Okay, so we didn't hurt it by anything by doing the repair. We didn't break anything else on it. It's still operating the way it should, but maybe we made an improvement. So our audio is garbled on the receive audio on our receive radio. Through the speaker, it's beautifully clear. But on the 16-pin connector, the audio coming out of that, it's garbled. And I've changed the jumper settings and looked at programming and things like that, and everything seems to be fine, but the audio's still garbled. It's pretty lousy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to change the cap in there that I believe is bad. And then since we're in there changing caps, we're just going to recap the whole thing. And we won't have to worry about that anymore. And then we'll do another Cynad test on it just to make sure that we didn't hurt anything, that's still receiving fine. And it's the logic board. It's not the RF board, so it's probably not going to hurt anything receive sensitivity wise. But we will see if that audio is processed there on the logic board. So I believe that there's a cap that's funky there. And we're going to remove that cap, all the other caps, and then we're going to put it back together, test it, make sure everything is okay, then put it back in the repeater again, and then see if we made any difference at all. And if not, we have to hunt down where this problem's at. We have to try to find it. So let me turn the camera around. I'll take the radio out of the repeater and get it up here on the bench, and then we'll start working. Well, we got our radio up here on the bench. So let's take the covers off of this thing and let's see what's inside. Now, we've had this radio apart before, so we're not going to be surprised by anything. Be really careful when you take these screws in and out. This plastic case is easy to break, so don't over tighten when you put these things in. All right, more. Okay. That out of the way. Yeah, be real careful when you pull these out. I've broken my share of these. I say be careful, but even being careful, you can still screw it up. So just try to be careful. So okay, so we got this radio here. I'll turn this around a little bit, and let me set this thing up. Set everything up, and we'll do the Cynad test, and then we'll move on from there. All right, I have our radio connected up, and I'm coming off the speaker here with a couple of alligator clips, and we're going into this port here, the audio in port on the LRN 4460, and then it goes through a 1-to-1 transformer, and then goes into the Cynad port on the service monitor. Now I've gotten into a habit of using this thing again. Well, you don't have to use it for the Radius models or the Max Track radios, but for the GM300 radio, if you're working on it, you definitely want to go through this. You don't want to clip these two leads in to your and then go right directly into your service monitor. That will cause trouble, because on these radios and the Max Track, one of the speaker leads goes to ground. Well, on the GM300, it's not going to ground. So you don't want to do that. So I've been in the habit of using this particular piece of equipment. And this comes in real handy for doing auto tune for like the XTS models of radio, where I work with the software and the service monitor, and it tunes the radio for you. So, but this is an expensive piece of gear right here, and I treat it like it is. So, but I've gotten into a habit of using it because I don't want to make the mistake of one day just connecting this up to a GM300 and going right into the service monitor and screwing it up. So I've been using it, and all it does is there's just a one-to-one audio transformer in there, and it just it's what you want to use. So you can make your own. I have this one. It does a whole lot of other things, so it comes in handy for me. So that's what we got going here. So I'm all set up on the service monitor. Well, actually, I'm not set up on the service monitor yet, but I am set up wire and cable wise for the radio. So let me turn the camera around and to the big screen, and we will do our SINAD test. Alrighty, well, the radio's on, and the radio's ready to go. So we need to come up here and set up for our SINAD test. So we come around here, it's SINAD down here, see right here. Alright, go over here and say generate. We're already on my frequency here of 51.150. Our port is right. So we're coming out the RF input-output port. Then I want to jump down here and turn our tone on. And I believe that is it. All right. Hope that's not too loud for you. So now I'm going to come down, and we're going to slowly back off the power here and see where we start to die out. Let me kick up the volume a little bit. I thought the last time we did this we were 108, something around there. So what we're going to do is right here we want to look for our 12 dB SINAD. So we want to keep an eye up on either the bar when it gets to 12 or here when it gets to 12. So we're getting kind of close. We passed it a little bit. So that's pretty good right there. So 110. So remember that, 110.5 or 110 dB right here, minus 110.5 dB is where we're kind of at right now. Now if I go one click less, let's kind of move it around here. So it's jumping around a little bit, but generally it's right around 110. So now we have our baseline for this, and we can see what happens when I change the caps. So remember 110, and it's jumping around a lot, but I could probably back it off just a little bit more. I thought we were at 108 the last time. Well, that's a little bit too much. It's right there is right the breaking point. Oh. if I go to 7, it seems to want to drop it down even more. So I'll keep it at 6. So 110.5, 110.6. All right. So let's get set up and change some caps. All right, we got our radio sitting here. Everything's unplugged. So we'll get rid of the speaker wire, pull these two, get our front display off. And then this has got to go. Let's see if I got the right driver here. Yep. So we will get this thing off. And this is what I'm working on now, is the logic board. Underneath is the RF board. And let's see, my little tweezers here. Let's see, where else do we got a screw? Right here. All right. Here. Pull this off. I think there's one screw there. All right. I think I got them all. You know, this is not always the easiest thing to get up out of here. Okay. And also remember, like I almost forgot, there's a couple of screws right here you need to remove. So let's get those out of there. I'm going to have to switch tools here. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. Oh, we got to get this plug out of here. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Now I got, there we go. Let's see if I can get that back out of here. You come out. There. All right, so we got that out, and you know, you got thermal paste here too you got to deal with. Let's set this aside. Flip it over and find my flat screwdriver wherever I put that. I don't know what happened to that. There's another one. Take the shield off. Put that aside. I'll take that off, and let's find my little needle nose. I'll just be very careful. Take that out. That didn't look very careful. All right. Now, let's find my right screwdriver again. That one loose. That. This one just has a couple, I believe just, well, it has 1, 2, 3 electrolytics there. I'll have to change. Okay. All right. I don't know if there's one under that shield. I can't remember. Is there? I don't see one. Why are we not coming out? Oh, there is one. The way I was sitting here, I didn't see it behind that little divider. All right. We got everything out, so we can put the carcass aside. All right. Get the shields away. Got our 2 boards. All right, so we got our 2 boards. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to replace all these caps and the tantalums. And then once I get everything done, we'll put the radio back together again and test the cyanide. So let me begin doing this. I need to find my marker. I only have my red marker here for some reason. I got a blue one. So what I usually do is I just mark these tops just so I know which one I've changed and which ones I haven't. So I go through and just make a little mark on them just so you know that this one is needing to be changed and you haven't changed it already. So I think I got them all. I think so. So we got one here, 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 here. This one, this one, this one, this one. A whole lot of them. This one down here, which is the one I think is causing me the trouble. The distorted audio. And did I get them all? I think I did. I think I did. Yep. All right. So let me get to work and replace these. And then when I'm done, we'll come back and put the radio back together and see what it does. All right, we're in front of the board again, and I've replaced all these caps here. So all the electrolytics on the board have been replaced. And it's been a little bit since the last time I worked on this. It's been a couple of weeks. I had some things come up and I got sidetracked from everything. So I'm back here in the shop. So yesterday I came back out here and got all these caps replaced. And my big pile of caps are over here. And you can notice a difference between the caps that were in there to the size of the caps that are now in there. So I didn't have anything small like those, so I just went ahead and replaced them anyway. Same values, different size case. The only thing you got to be careful with when you're doing that is to make sure that things fit. Like those are a smaller size cap to be able to fit this into the board into the radio. And I believe that even with these caps, I'll still be fine when I slide this thing in there. I already slid it in there once. It looks like the shield will fit over the top of it just fine, so I'll be good with it. Good to go there. So the only thing I have left to do on this board is to replace these 4 tantalum caps, and I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back when that's done, and then we'll put this thing back together again and see if it made any difference at all with our audio quality. All right, we're back here on the bench, and I got everything kind of cleaned up. So here's my pile of caps that I replaced. So I got everything done here. I replaced the 4 tantalums. Now this one here, it was mounted with the polarity backwards in the board. I don't know why. The radio seemed like it worked all right. I don't know what part of the circuit this one's in, so I'd have to go back and look. But my indication as to when I took it out was it was mounted backwards. So before I put this all back together again, I'm going to go look at the schematic and find out if possibly the indication on the board itself for polarity might be wrong, or did the machine put this in wrong when it was made? I don't know. Or did somebody come in here and replace that and got the polarity wrong? I have no idea. So anyway, I put it in the way it's supposed to go via the markings on the board. So I will, before I put any power to this thing, check that again against the schematic and make sure that that's orientated in the right direction there. But other than that, everything's all done. So our next step is to put this thing together and see if it made any difference with our audio. This particular cap right under this little bracket here is the one that was in question for our bad sounding audio. So that's of course replaced, and everything else is replaced. So this board should last a long time as far as having any issues with leaky caps or anything like that. So let's put this back into the radio body again, and we'll see what it does. I have you step in front of the screen here for the service monitor, and I'll put the service monitor into generate here. Okay, so we're generating a tone, and I'm sorry it's loud. I need to have that audio for this test. So as you can remember before, we came down here and our SINAD before was 110 dBm. We hit a 12 SINAD when I had this output level set at -110. So let's just back it off again and see what we get this time. I'm not expecting it to change, but it could. So let's back it off here. Keep backing it off. Well, we lost the squelch at 110, so let me see if I can open this radio up. So we're at 110, and I'd say it's about the same. No real difference. So somewhere right there, -110.6, something like that. So pretty much the same. And I didn't expect anything to be different. I didn't really expect it to be much different because we just did the logic board, and the reason why I did it anyway is to try to solve my garbled audio problem, and we need to check that out too and see if that helped this helped at all. But going forward, we'll have to address that RF board and see if recapping that will make a change in our SINAD. Well, I got the radio mounted back into the repeater again, and everything's turned on. So 6-meter repeater's turned on, the VHF repeater and the controller's on. Got my trusty D75 here on VHF, and the ICOM 706 is on the output frequency for the 6-meter repeater. And we're going to key it up here and do a little radio test and just see how clear, if our audio is clear, or if it's still garbled. We have more to go, but let's give it a try. Radio test 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Radio test 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. That sounds pretty good. No garbled audio. I can't turn the volume up too high or I'll get feedback. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Well, I did get the feedback, but as you can see, no garbled audio. All right. So we did fix that by recapping, and I kind of knew which cap was bad to begin with, just by looking at the schematic and following the audio chain. So yeah, I like it. Radio test 1 2. Love it. So there you go. Audio repaired. Well, how about that? We got our audio problem fixed. So I guess lessons learned from this video is that cap that I said was bad, that I suspected was bad. And just to eliminate any possible problems down the road, I replaced all of the caps in the on that board, on the logic board. And I'll come back, I'll order some caps for the RF board and get it recapped too, and then I don't have to worry about this thing anymore. It's all recapped. And it will go back again and look at our SINAD after I recap that board and see if it made any difference at all. And I'm hoping it will. But I didn't find any leaking caps, which was unexpected and good. There was no damage to the board. The only goofy thing was the indicator on the board for the polarity of that one tantalum cap was backwards. It was wrong. It was wrong on the board. The machine that placed that tantalum put it in the right orientation, but the schematic was correct. So I went back and looked at the schematic and went against the marking on the board, and it was fine. So I don't know if all of them in that series are bad or what. I don't really know. So anyway, something to look at when you're doing these radios is compare what you see on the board to the schematic and make sure that everything is in its right orientation, I guess would be the takeaway from that. But you're always learning something with these things. That's why we do it. And there's nothing wrong with learning. I enjoy learning. And there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of knowledge in this stuff, and I like learning from them too. But anyway, there we go. So maybe the next time I come back with this project, it's going to be recapping the RF board and then doing another SINAD test and just see what happens. And then maybe we'll screw around with those little brass screws again. I'll get some shorter ones and we'll replace them. Somebody told me to, or I don't know if it was an article or somebody commented on one of the other videos about taking the cores out of a UHF radio and screwing those things in and not using the brass screws. So we might do that too. I think I may have a couple of scrap UHF radios up in the attic up here. So we'll take a look at that. But anyway, yeah, I'm liking it. We got the audio cleaned up. That's a big thing. I mean, it would not go well if I didn't, if we had that problem. So I'm glad we got that cleared up and we can move ahead now. But in all, the repeater, like I said before, the repeater is really kind of ready to go. I do want to get another receive radio for the 6 meter just to make sure I have a spare in case something happens to that one. Maybe we can tweak on that one and make it better than the one that's in there and just swap them out. And it's ongoing. That's what all these little projects are, these little homemade repeaters and everything that we're doing. You always are working to make your system better. I mean, you're working to get a better antenna system, better feed line. Just part of amateur radio is improving your station and making it work better, make it more efficient, and making it be there when you need it. So I don't want to put this thing out there and a week later something fries or something's not working, and then all the fun got started by using it, and then all of a sudden it crashes down and we can't use it. So I don't want that to happen. I put the Motorola XPR 8400 out there that we did the video on, and it's been running really good ever since. We went through it, we cleaned everything up, we made sure all the connections were good and cleaned everything and got it programmed up, put it out there. It's been running flawless ever since. So hopefully when I get this out there and this equipment, the MSF 5000 will take that 8400's place, and hopefully this one will be a strong repeater and give us little to no problems. So we're all recapped on that thing and everything's tuned up. So hopefully going forward we won't have any issues. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It took several days to do. I just got put off in other directions. We got a new septic tank system put in here with a whole bunch of new plumbing from the toilets all the way to the end of the septic tank and all that. So that took up a lot of time, mowing, and it's been a really rainy spring. I haven't had a whole lot of time to get out here to the shop, and I had one of my pieces of equipment break on me, so I had to wait to get a replacement for that so I can finish this video. So it was it was, you know, it took a long time to make this one. So I just want to say thank you for everybody who came and watched the video today. And, man, we're IDing. It's working great. So yeah, I have a little bit more programming to do on the controller to get things set up the way I want them. And other than that, it's you know, I could put it out there right now and it'll work just fine. But I want to program a little bit more on the controller a little bit and get things like announcements and things the way I like them, and get it working. So anyway, thank you for being here today. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. I love the comments, good or bad. I'll try to answer them. If they're bad, I don't know what kind of response I'll have for you, but I don't mind it. Everybody has an opinion, so bring them on, and we'll catch you again next time. Thanks.